This was Brittany Maynard. Brittany was diagnosed on January 1st, 2014 with terminal brain cancer. Because of the diagnosis, Brittany became an advocate for assisted suicide. On November 1st, 2014, at the age of 29, she took medication to end her life under Oregon's Death with Dignity Act. Maynard was roundly praised by the media, chosen as one of CNN's 11 Extraordinary People of 2014, and crowned a hero by People magazine. The Washington Post columnist Richard Cohen praised her suicide, calling it admirable, sensible, and dignified. All this for choosing to commit suicide rather than to face brain cancer. But does she really can be considered extraordinary or a hero? Does she really transmit admiration, compassion, or dignity? Or can we just call it as it is, suicide? Therefore, the question is, does assisted suicide can be considered ethically correct? And if it is, should it be considered legal in the United States? Assisted suicide is defined as a physician providing a patient the means to take his or her own life, usually through medication. In the United States, physician-assisted suicide is permitted in Washington, Oregon, and most recently, Vermont. Typically, the people that are pro-choice on the topic of suicide are people that understand what it's like to deal with the everyday pain of a chronic illness, or they have seen someone they know struggle with a certain disease or illness. Those who are in favor of assisted suicide believe that it's about having a peaceful death, just as they have the right to their own bodies, their own lives and loves. It's the right thing to own their own death too. According to Appreciating Life by Shark DeCilis, distress is probably the main reason sick people seek medical assistance to commit suicide. Distress could take the form of depression, loss of dignity, or fear of losing autonomy or self-control. Pain and physical discomfort are clearly secondary reasons. On the other hand, those against assisted suicide believe that patients who utilize physician-assisted suicide are often those who value being in control and tend to magnify the negative dimensions of dying. They are individuals who estimate that the loss of self-possession and quality of life are intolerable. They are often people concerned not to burden others, yet wish to die at home. Religious reasons to oppose assisted suicide exist too. Pope Francis observed that assisted suicide gives us a false sense of compassion. Assisted suicide seems to promote what compassion means, which is sensitivity, kindness, and humanity. However, assisted suicide is really the other side of compassion. How can someone feel sensitivity or humanity towards someone who is choosing death on their own terms? Choosing assisted suicide is about an ill will and selfishness, because suicide gives the person the sense of playing God with their own life. We have seen people that, unlike Maynard's view of death, prefer to show true braveness. To mention one, ESPN anchor Stuart Scott died of cancer. Scott faced death with enough braveness to persuade anyone to keep fighting for life. He said, "You beat cancer by how you live, why you live, and the manner in which you live. So live, fight like hell, and when you get too tired to fight, lie down and rest and let someone else fight for you." In conclusion, we can see that in both sides, the main reason to defend their views on assisted suicide is all about treating human life with dignity. However, someone must have the wrong way of seeing dignity. Believing that dying without suffering is an act of dignity must be a mistaken view. Ending your own life in your own terms seems to show more cowardice and fear than dignity. Why? Because dignity means worthiness, means self-respect and bearing. Ending your own life does not show dignity. Instead, we can say it shows pride. Pride means a high and inordinate opinions of one's own dignity. So, we can see that assisted suicide is not ethically correct. In a content perspective, assisted suicide will never be permitted because it is contrary to suppose that we can improve life by destroying it. We can see that behind assisted suicide, it only exists a false compassion, a false dignity, and the idea that we can play God with our own lives. So why won't we choose better solutions, such as faith, such as hope, and such as love? Let's choose life.